So good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, May 9th, and this morning's energy is the well. And the well symbolizes the place within each of us that is that deep and ever-present source of renewal. Its serene depths are just uncorrupted, and the wisdom is drawn out from the dimness of the unconscious into the light of understanding. The journey towards self-knowledge requires that we willingly enter the darkness of uncertainty. Becoming more aware has its own timing. Nevertheless, all the apparent mistakes and wrong turns are an essential part of each person's unique process and cannot be avoided. So insight only ever comes from totally living your own experience and being guided by your own heart. So that being said, we're going to access 3 different parts of our body with breath, and then just sit with our heart for a little bit to see what comes forward. So we're going to breathe into our lower belly for a few breaths. Then we're going to breathe into our mid-torso. And then we're going to breathe up underneath our collarbones. And then we're going to bring that breath through all 3 places. And it's kind of a big breath. So allow yourself to really you can think of it like each of the small ones are stretching it out so that you can really breathe into that whole area and relax. So I invite you to close your eyes. I invite you to settle your body into your chair, relaxing your arms, and breathing into the lower belly. Just a normal breath. And as we go along, you can deepen it a little bit, but it's not about pushing. It's just about intention. The breath is going into the lower belly. And just notice, what does it feel like in the sense of how comfortable is that particular breath for you? It might be really natural. It might feel unnatural. Maybe you tend to breathe up in the chest higher normally. So just no judgment, but just notice. Now, if you want to move your hands up and put it right under your rib cage, right on the solar plexus area, and breathe in so that the breath kind of moves your hands upward or outward. Since we're sitting up, probably outward. If we were laying down, it would be upward. But again, bringing the breath into that area and allowing it to relax. And again, noticing, how does this one feel compared to breathing into the lower belly? We'll just take a couple more here. Great. Now, if you want to, you can bring your hands up so that your fingertips are resting on your collarbones. And this time, as we breathe into this area, we're imagining our collarbones kind of lifting. And the difference is we're not trying to necessarily bring our shoulders up, because a lot of times when we focus, we try to do that. So let's bring our shoulders down if that's happening for you. And coming back to just lifting the shoulder, or not the shoulders, excuse me, the collarbone. This one personally is the hardest for me. So check in for you. What is this like? Is this the easiest? Is this the hardest? Does it feel kind of in between the other two? Doesn't really matter. It's okay, wherever it is. But we're opening each of these areas. So one more breath up here. And relax. Now we're going to do a series. So we're going to breathe into the lower belly and the mid area. So filling up both of those and relaxing both. Go ahead. This might be a little deeper breath for you than it was before. We're just going to do one more. Wonderful. Now we're going to do it between the shoulder or the solar plexus and the collarbones. So these two areas. We're going to take about 3 breaths there. Wonderful. Return your breath to a normal breathing feeling for you. And we're going to do all 3. So as we breathe in, we're going to fill the lower belly, midsection, upper chest, and then release it all. And if that has to be a bigger breath for you in a shorter time period and it's not a slow filling, that's okay. That's something that you would build up towards if you don't already have that breath capacity or that openness already inside of you. But I wanted to guide you here just in case you can. And if you can't, again, it's fine. Do the other breaths first and be with those until you recognize that you can actually fill up all the cavity of you. So we're going to try it and intend that you are able to fill up all 3 from your lower belly up to your collarbones and then let it all out. So let's try it once. See how that goes. And it's okay if you weren't able to do it. Fantastic. Try it one more time. Now, keeping your eyes closed if you've opened them at any point, put your hands on your heart and just notice. Notice the feeling inside. Sometimes doing this breath work, the heart gets really kind of pumping. But as we sit here and breathe normally and just touch into the energy of the heart, we notice it starting to calm. We might notice spaciousness. We might notice the ability to just be a little bit more expanded than we were before, a little quieter. This is a space that we can really touch into that well. This is a space that allows us to hear that wisdom a little bit more easily. And it often is a really soft and small voice. But when we quiet ourselves this way, it allows us to hear it more clearly. It allows us to access that wisdom, that strength, that inner knowing. And also be curious. What comes up for you in this space? Maybe it's something completely different than what I've offered. But here we are, beginning to access the well that is inside of each of us. And so I offer this space to you to see where you go and what shows up for you because you have that innate wisdom. So sit with that for a little while, maybe another 30 seconds or so, and allow yourself the ability to really absorb whatever's coming forward, whether that be just the feeling of peace, or maybe there are nuggets of wisdom that show up, or maybe it's an action step that maybe you've been ignoring that's saying, hey, it's time. All of those are wonderful, and whatever else comes up is wonderful. Welcome that with a kindness to yourself. And when you're ready, you can come on back in.